Naito has stepped up. You look at back in the day, Okada stepped up when Tanahashi was reaching his peak. And now Naito has stepped up when Okada is probably reaching his peak, to be honest. That being said, we've got to talk about the upcoming Wrestle Kingdom, but nonetheless, how do you not? Who did better than Naito as far as singles goes? Nobody.
No.
And apparently, Pasty, we're big on POCs. We don't discriminate. We don't have to look for the great white hope, because our male wrestler of the year happens to be a Japanese pro wrestler who spends most of his time in Japan. And the female wrestler of the year is a Japanese wrestler who spent most of her career in Japan, although this past year has been spent in the United States. Hikaru Shida, the AEW. That's a throwback. The AEW Women's Champion, and probably the most dominant Women's Champion that they've had so far.
Yeah, even more so than Nyla Rose, which is surprising.
Yeah, more than Riho or Nyla Rose. She's definitely been dominant.
But every time Hikaru Shida gets in the ring, you can feel her energy. And whether it's just a flat-out one-on-one match where she's fairly confident she's going to win, or it's a match where, one of her best friends just killed herself. The match where she beat Nyla Rose for the championship. You could feel her hurt, and you could feel that energy coming from her the entire match. I appreciate wrestlers like that. And she doesn't have to talk to tell you the story. You just get it from seeing her in action.
She tells the story in the ring.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a great point, Pasty, especially the tribute match that she had. And I do want to point out one thing. Actually, I want to point out two things here. Hikaru Shida is the best woman wrestler in a company that has probably the worst women's division. So I'll give her credit. It's easy to shine there. I will say that. Secondly, during the pandemic, I think women wrestling was hit the hardest. I think people knew they had very few moments of putting action on the screen or in the ring, and they chose to go to their male wrestlers because, as we said, pro wrestling is decades behind, and they think only male wrestlers will bring in money. So there really wasn't much. You had Tessa Blanchard, who was probably a favorite for this at the beginning of the year. Yeah. Completely going silent, and there's been talk since then, and the story isn't probably exactly what we thought it was. But nonetheless, I will say this was a rough year for the women. So, would she have won last year? Will she win next year? We don't know. That's Monday morning quarterbacking, but. Nonetheless, this year she was the best female. She put on the best matches. She's holding a women's title from one of the top brands, and she's been dominant in that brand. Mm-hmm. What more do you look for female wrestler of the year? I don't know.
I don't know.
Actually, I want to add one more thing. She doesn't use TNA and I don't mean the wrestling. I mean she doesn't objectify herself to get herself airtime. She doesn't wear skimpy outfits. She doesn't shake her butt getting in the ring.
She's a role model, but not like Bayley in the annoying sense.
Right.
It works. I really like the work she put out this year. Apparently, What Culture didn't, because they listed her as their number 2 most boring wrestler of 2020.
You told me that, and I just cannot believe that.
That's fucked.
That's very fucked.
Because she definitely was not.
I mean, to be honest, she is not my favorite woman wrestler in AEW, and she's probably not in my top 3. Top 5, yeah, I would say, but not in my top 3. But nonetheless, I feel 100% that she earned this. I don't know who else it would have been. I don't even remember who we had in the runnings for it, just to be honest, Pasty.
Bayley was in there.
Bayley would deserve to be in
Purrazzo.
there. Purrazzo would deserve. Yeah, those were the three. Yeah, Purrazzo, Bailey, and Shida, and those are the three that I guess would deserve to be in there. Purrazzo is the women's champion of the probably best women's division in wrestling right now, Impact. Bailey, she's a women's champion of the biggest pro wrestling company, and Hikaru Shida, the women's champion of the best pro wrestling company in 2020, if you listen to Beef Sticks Podcast.
Yes. You have the best man, you have the best woman. Now we just gotta talk about the biggest waste space in the room, the scum on your shoe, and the Jerry of the year.
Oh.
Fat Mac. This year, it goes to the man who wrote his own fan fiction about how he killed a guy.
As a preteen.
Yeah, as a preteen. Marty Jannetty.
Where to start with this fucking Jerry? First of all, I think he is the most rehired wrestler in WWF history. And that could only be more than Alberto Del Rio. Maybe Jim the Anvil Neidhart was more rehired than him. Jeff Jarrett's in the running, but not as much. But this guy he had the potential to be a top star. Maybe not in those days, maybe not the top star, but a top star for sure. Whew. The guy made up the story.
Him and Tammy Sitch, man, I bet they're shoot up together or something.
And Tammy Sitch, man, we all lusted after her in our younger years. Not anymore. Now she's on videos pooting for the camera. But Marty Jannetty, he poots in his own way. He was trying to he was asking the internet if he should date a girl who it turns out could possibly be his daughter. Well, no, he was already dating her. Should he sleep with a girl who could possibly be his daughter, but he doesn't know she's his daughter? Actually, let me preface this by saying I don't believe anything the fucker says. So I don't think there's a girl who could be his daughter that he has a chance to fuck. But I think that this guy thinks he's cool by making people think that he might fuck his daughter. He thinks it's cool for people to think that he might have fucking murdered a dude. And what was the latest one that the porn movie pasty?
Yes. This is just before the end of the year. I got it up on my screen
After
right
we
now.
had already chose him as our Jerry of the Year, mind you. This is just icing on the goddamn cake.
He tweets, "This is cray. Porn. They just called me again. From what they said, and I won't say erotica, Mia Khalifa is a big fan, so has already said yes. 2-movie deal. 200 thaw. What would you do?"
First
Mia
of all,
Khalifa hasn't done porn for quite some time.
I was going to say, am I a horrible person for knowing who Mia Khalifa is? I don't know. But nonetheless, yeah, this guy is just, he should be called Marty the Jerry, not Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty.
Or Jerry should have been named Marty in Rick and Morty. You know what I mean? It's like, these two guys are the same cocksucker. Marty Jannetty is in better shape than Jerry, but I think Jerry bangs hotter girls than Marty Jannetty, so.
Yeah.
That chick with the...
Jerry can say he's had sex with an alien and people will believe him.
Right, remember that chick with the 3 vaginas?
Yep.
I want to bang a chick with 3 vaginas. Haven't done it yet.
Wasn't it 3 boobs and 2 vaginas?
Was it 2? I thought he said, "Do you want to know what else she has 3 of?"
Oh, yeah.
But I could be wrong. I banged a dude with 3 testicles one time.
Nice.
Well, I mean, afterwards you showed me that you just taped a marble to your sack, but nonetheless, it was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember that. Steak in the shower night. Strata was on the camera.
Oh, so much fun.
Yes.
Actually, I think Khalifa, what the fuck is her name?
Mia Khalifa.
I think Mia Khalifa still owes us some money for that video. She made a lot of money off of that shit. Remember, she just superimposed her face over yours and sold it for a bundle.
You're getting it wrong. You had too much tequila that night. Mia Khalifa made a brief cameo as my third testicle.
Pasty Tia Tequila was that the other night. We had Tila Tequila the other night. This was Mia Khalifa. I know it sounded Tia Tequila and Mia Khalifa, and I know it gets mixed in there. That's right. She was your testicle, though, wasn't she?
Yes.
Because her heels kept hitting my Achilles tendon. Very uncomfortable.
She was a good sport, though.
How did Marty Jannetty
Still more believable than Marty Jannetty.
How did Marty Jannetty give us the best fucking off-track segment of the night, though? I remember hearing the music as Mia Khalifa was coming down the hallway to the showers, and it makes me think, Pasty, of
it was Hulk Hogan's NWO theme, something bow to bam bam.
Well, it makes me think of a Beef Stick Award that you really have a strong connection to. You are very music oriented, take a lot into it, and sadly over the years I just skip the music now and I forget it and I don't remember it. But one theme that I know that I loved, the first time I heard it, and I was pissed when I heard it was changed, and you and I both feel it was the best entrance theme of 2020, Keith Lee's entrance music. And no, folks, don't start throwing your tomatoes. We're talking about the original NXT theme.
Bask in his glory. Even though the same band 2 years prior wrote Glorious for Bobby Roode, which I always thought was like, it was a CFO dollars.
Is it CFO money?
Yeah, yep, and that's why they wanted to get rid of it, because now they're not using their music anymore because of royalties.
Yeah.
Which I get, but...
Yeah, as a company I do get, but yes, it's...
That was the best song, and they called him up to the main roster, and they took the song away, and they told him he has to stop talking like Bill Shatner, and now they're trying to send him back to training because he's apparently not good enough, even though he's the most talented person WWE has currently.
Yeah.
I guess I'll say at least the most talented big man, but I believe he's the most talented person on the roster.
It's a whole debacle. I mean, he's definitely the most talented, probably undercard guy. I mean, you can argue Seth Rollins.
Can you speak with a southern accent? No, we're changing your whole gimmick.
Keith, we're gonna give you a spear and a mask and have you paint stars on your boobies. On your chocolate boobies.
Keith, we're gonna say Mark Henry's your father. Yes, you are the son of sexual chocolate. I love Keith Lee. He needs to get the fuck out of there. He has so much
talent. He would be great in, I don't know about AEW, because AEW also is pretty jam-packed. But man, bring him into Impact or...
Fuck yeah.
Impact he'd do awesome in. Actually, he'd fit right in the main event there.
I'd even take him in NWA. I think he's got the size and stature that he can come off as that old school style. At the same time of being a big, fast, flying, fat man.
For sure. I'm honestly concerned about NWA this year. This is literally a make or break year for them, I think.
Yeah.
So...
Billy Corgan just needs to put out some more Smashing Pumpkins albums. That'll take care of it.
No, pay for it. Those royalty checks ain't coming in hard enough.
He should do a Smashing Pumpkins album with tracks featuring NWA wrestlers. That's how you make the money.
I can dig it. Then you appeal to both audiences.
Yes. In a way that few have done since Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh, yeah. The rapping Macho Man. The guy that talked the slowest in wrestling thought he'd put out a rap album.
was about as